Most athletes think fights are won because someone has better kicks, they're faster, or because they're in better shape. But there's one mistake that I see over and over again, even at the highest level. They don't understand distance. And when you don't understand distance, everything starts to fall apart. You arrive late to your attacks, you come up short, or you step in at the wrong time. You waste unnecessary energy, and before you know it, you're fighting the match your opponent wants instead of the one you want. Now, after over more than 20 years in Taekwondo, competing at 2 Olympic Games, winning international medals, and fighting athletes from all over the world, I realized something very early. Distance isn't just about being close or far away. Distance is information, it's control, it's timing, and it's one of the most important skills you can develop as an athlete. There's one simple rule that I teach all of my athletes. In most situations, you should aim to stay about 1 meter away from your opponent. It's not an exact measurement with a tape measure, but it's a reference point that gives you enough time to react, attack, and defend. If you're much farther away in the mat, you'll have to cover too much ground to get to your opponent. And the more distance that you have to cover, the easier it is for your opponent to see your attack coming. So if you're too close, you're giving your opponent the opportunity to attack first and control the exchange. And that's where the real strategy begins. Now, staying 1 meter away doesn't mean standing still. In fact, it's the opposite. Distance is constantly changing. Every step you take, it changes. Every movement your opponent moves, you're changing it. So your job isn't to react when the distance already changes. Your job is to learn how to control it before the exchange even happens. So now let's imagine this, okay? This is your opponent. Most athletes think that this is close or far, but we just really need to understand the space between the two of us, okay? Is where every decision is made. If you're too far away, every attack, you have to travel a longer distance. And the longer your attack travels, the more time your opponent has to see it, react, and move away. Now, let's look at the opposite. If I'm standing too close, I'm taking away my own reaction time. Now, he can attack before I'm ready. And now the exchange becomes too fast. This is why I teach my athletes that your goal isn't to be as close as possible. It's to stay at a distance where you're able to attack when you're not giving away your intention, while still having enough time to react to whatever your opponent does. So it's like a conversation. Let's think about it. If you're too far away, you can't communicate. If you're too close, people start talking over each other. But when you're at the right distance, you have the control. And in Taekwondo, the athlete controls the distance. Whoever controls the distance controls the fight. The same distance doesn't work against everyone. One of the questions I get asked all the time is, how far away should I actually be from my opponent? So there's no perfect number that works in every situation, but if you want a starting point, I teach my athletes to think about 1 meter. It isn't a magic number, it's a reference. It's the difference where most situations you have enough time to see what's happening, to react, defend, or launch your own attack. If you're farther than 1 meter, you usually have to take an extra step before you can score. And that extra movement gives your opponent more time to read you. Now, if you're much closer, right, you start taking away your own reaction time. So everything happens faster. You feel rushed. You start making decisions instead of forcing your opponent to make them. So the goal isn't to stand exactly 1 meter away from the whole entire fight. A fight is constantly changing. Sometimes you're going to be closer and sometimes you're going to be farther away. But if you always come back to this reference point, you will naturally have better timing, better reactions, and much more control over the match. The athletes that understand distance don't just move more, they move with a purpose. And that starts by understanding what 1 meter really feels like. One of the biggest misconceptions in Taekwondo are that athletes just have simply fast reactions. That's not exactly what sports science shows. So the average person needs about 200 to 250 milliseconds just to see something happen, process it, and make a decision and make a move, okay? That for a second. Before you even lift your leg to defend, to counterattack, your brain has already gone through an entire process. It has to recognize the attack, understand what's happening, decide on the best response, and then send a signal to your muscles. That all takes time. This is exactly why distance is so important. If you're standing too close to your opponent, you take away that time. Now your brain has to make a decision under pressure, and this is where mistakes happen. You freeze, you throw a technique without thinking. So if you learn how to manage your distance correctly, you're gonna be able to make better decisions. And that's something that I learned throughout my career. The best athletes aren't always the one with the fastest reflexes. They're the ones who create enough time to make the right decisions. So distance creates time, and time creates better decisions. And that's why controlling distance isn't just about movement. It's about giving yourself the best chance to see before the exchange even begins. Now, I want you to think about your own fights. Are you losing because your technique isn't good enough? Or are you losing because you're not giving yourself enough time to make the decisions? That's a completely different problem. Start paying attention to your distance between every round this week. Don't just focus on scoring. Focus on how much time you're creating for yourself, because the athletes that control time usually control the fight. If you like this video, like, subscribe. Now I kind of demonstrate just a little bit on what do I mean by playing or controlling distance. For me as an athlete, I would always never stay in the same place too long. Now, being a static fighter, there are certain fights that you can fight like that, which is this is an extra tool to learn how to fight static, but there's also the better way, which I think it's so much more fun and it's so much more interesting, is when you're able to move. So example, I'm gonna have my normal bounce, right? I'm not gonna be bouncing like this, right? I'm gonna be here where I'm able to move forward and I'm able to move back in any way that I want. I wanna move to the right, I can move to the right. I wanna move to the left, I can move to the left. And I have my hand out straight always. Okay, here I have my arm here, I'm blocking, and I have my posture. Okay, I'm gonna go back, and if I need to also lean, I can lean, okay? Called ring management. And this is something that is so important. If you can master this, you can win any fight you want. I promise. So, example, playing with distance. I can fake, right? I can go back. I can go forward, I can angle, right? Remember, it's always 1 or 1, 2, and I'm angling, right? Or here, and I'm angling, and I'm always controlling the ring. I'm always the one in control. You have to be the owner of the ring. You gotta make it known that you are the one that's going to control the fight. Ring management, I'm telling you, is a tool. Knowing how to go in, how to go out, how to fake, switch, See how I'm faking? Sometimes I'm not gonna fake going in, right? I'm just faking with the leg, going in. Then I can even make more distance. They think we're that close, but we're really not that close. It's just playing around. I will get more into depth with this, but I just wanna make a general topic on distance because it's just so profound that we could talk about it for years. So yes, remember, ring management, put it in your tools, work on it, train, and fix those distance errors. Hey guys, and I wanted to just say that I fixed my website so that everything that, if you have a question or if you want to reach out to me, all the contact info is there. I wanted to make more clear what is my mission and what my vision is with my Taekwondo project, the internal method. So I have made and created a small short video on the beginning of the website, just speaking about what I'm offering and what I am going to be giving to athletes. So I will be also giving one-on-one training mentorship with any athlete that's interested in that. Feel free to just go on my profile, the link's right in the bio. And also don't forget that I have my school course, which is also, the link is in my bio. And that's where I go more profoundly into this subject. Example, distance. I have more information inside there. And that is, there's a free version, which is a free community. And then there's the freemium, which I think you have to buy 2 courses. But like I said, if you're interested in that, I would love for you to be a part of the community. any questions or anything, feel free to message me. And remember, this is the internal method.